The hunt for a left back at Nottingham Forest continues, as it's clear Omar Richards is not yet Cooper's man. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are, whatever time of day you're watching this. Hope you're having a fantastic day, and welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest transfer news. In today's video, we'll give you the latest on the left back situation, as Forest are linked to yet another left back, and Cooper talks out about Omar Richards. We'll be covering off my thoughts on the game last night as Forest flopped to a 2-0 defeat to Leeds United in a minutes in leg friendly, and there's plenty of other things to talk about. Before we get into it all, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV if you are new, and don't forget, next Sunday, the barbecue is happening, the podcast is happening. Make sure you're there, grab your tickets, and come join us and the fellow Forest fans as we talk all things Nottingham Forest. All right, let's jump into this, and let's start with this left-back situation. So Forest have been linked with yet another left-back in Adrien Traoré. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I just put a French accent on and hope it somehow or some way sounds roughly about right. The 21-year-old who plays for Rennes is apparently on the move. And guess who else is interested in him outside of Nottingham Forest? Of course, it's West Ham. Why would it not be? They just copy and paste our recruitment strategy. What do I know about this kid? Absolutely nothing is the honest answer. I don't know how good he is. I don't know how bad he is. I know that he didn't get much game time last season, but was a mainstay with them for the previous 2 years. Outside of that, I can't tell you anything. He's not even that quick. That's it. I literally couldn't even blag it if I wanted to. Never seen him play, never heard from him. What I will say, he's French. And the track record for French players last season at Nottingham Forest wasn't exactly the best one. So, the more interesting point on this is the whole Omar Richards situation, because we've clearly seen his second leg has grown back, so he now has 2 legs, yet we haven't seen a single minute out of him in these friendlies so far. And there was hints at the start of the summer that he would be participating in these and getting minutes in his leg. God, that phrase is just... Anyway, but Cooper's come out and basically said that they want to take it slow with him because of the length of time he has been out. And look, in some aspects, I can understand that. But I would just like to know how fit or not he is. Is he ready to play matches? Will he be ready at the start of the season? Does he need to miss the next game and then, play the next 2? I don't know. It's not very clear what's going on with him. But I do think what's crystal clear is that he's not number 1 choice for Steve Cooper currently, as we still keep getting linked to left backs. Now, the list is getting longer and longer and longer, and it's varying from players that are worth 21 mil, like the Chelsea left back, who really does look like a good prospect. Was away at Burnley last year for a season's loan, has been playing in the USA Tour for Chelsea over the summer and impressing. He doesn't really seem to have any further links with Nottingham Forest, and Adrien here seems to be one of the names that are coming up towards the forefront of it. And it doesn't excite me. It really doesn't. Look, at the moment, the transfers we've done so far have been all right. I think Elanga has a lot of potential. Einar, to me, I don't know where he fits in. He might be good, he might not be. Can't really tell till he's on the pitch. We do know that he will feature in the PSV game coming up this weekend. We do also know that MGW will feature in that game. And we do also know that Brennan Johnson still isn't fit. So there's still a lot of question marks about the whole Forest squad currently. But we are 2 and a bit weeks away. We will be playing Arsenal 2 weeks tomorrow. Wow. Let that sink in. Literally 2 weeks away, and we still have no goalkeeper, no left back, no CDM, no backup striker, and right winger who's injured. It's getting a little worrying. But anyway, back to the left back situation. I think we are going to see a real push these next few days on both the Henderson deal and a left back scenario. At some point, Forest are just going to have to pull the trigger and get someone in because it's getting towards that stage. And that's the thing that's really worrying me, because not only do you have to get them in, you then have to blood them in, get them up to speed with the team, and then get them some minutes on the pitch. And all that has to happen within 2 weeks. And that really, really is getting worrying. I'm not hitting the panic button just yet, but I'm just saying. Anyway, back to this guy. Don't even know how much he's worth. Don't even know if he's good. Don't know nothing about him. So if you do me a favor today. You guys do the news. Let me know what you think about him in the comments down below. Okay, I want to have a quick chat about yesterday's game. Look, it's not going to be a rant. It's going to be like practical and pragmatic and point some good things, some bad things, and some places that can improve. Because I've kind of had my say on it yesterday, even though the stream crashed and you guys missed half what I said, probably thankfully. But anyway, let's start with a few things. It is clear to me that Forest are going to be playing low block this season. This whole thing that Cooper said towards the end of last year, that this isn't the style he wants to play, that he wants to play more progressive football, etc. Not buying it. I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. 4 games in, not seeing it. Doesn't matter if we're playing crappy championship teams like Leeds, or crappy neighbours like Notts County, or second tier teams from the Spanish league. It doesn't matter. And Valencia was the other one. All those teams, we've seen the same style. Yes, we've seen different formations very occasionally during these friendlies, but that's not really important right now. Having a 4-2-3-1 or 4-3-3, 5 at the back, 10 at the back, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. For me, the real problem is 2 main things. It's the mental approach of the game, which seems to be completely low block football. And the fact that we're playing with 1.5 attackers on each game, especially during the first half. And secondly, and probably more worrying, is the lack of ability this team has to pass a ball from person A to person B. It's really, really bad. The thing is, you watch all these training videos that Forest release, and they're pinging the ball around with their, 2-foot little under 5 goals and what have you. And you're thinking to yourself, looks quite solid. Yet that never seems to transfer into the match, where the Forest players never seem to have the ability to find a fellow person in the same colour shirt that is within 10 to 15 yards of them. Either they're panicking and have to pass the ball backwards until it gets all the way to the keeper, especially when you got McKenna or Worrell in the team, and Freuler, literally, I don't think I've seen him make a forward pass. In fact, the one forward pass he made, we scored from against Levante, where he played Ryan Yateson. And that for me is the worrying thing. Now, these friendlies are not played at full pace, at full physicality, at full everything. And we are still struggling to string these passes together. So what is going to happen when we go to the Emirates on the 12th? Are we expecting that Arsenal aren't going to press quicker or stronger or anything like that than we've seen in friendlies? Even Sheffield United and Burnley, when we play them at the City Ground, will be pressing and will be closing down. So the ability to pass a ball from person A to person B is actually going to get harder. And if they're not stringing these passes together right now, then I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I really don't. I am starting to worry. I don't care if any of you want to come at me and say, it's just a friendly, it's just minutes and legs, it doesn't matter. That's not the point I'm making. I don't care that we lost to Leeds. I really don't. It's not about the score. I'm looking when I'm watching for signs of progression, for signs of chemistry on the pitch between players. And this is the thing that bugs me as well. I think Powell looks like a really good talent going forward at left back. He's been impressive throughout the pre-season. So has Shelby in goal, apart from that second half mistake yesterday. But the point here is both of them are probably going to be loaned out. So if you want to look at it like harshly, why are we giving them minutes on the pitch? A loan isn't like you need to try and shop window a player to sell him. Most lower league teams will happily take Premier League loans out. and showcase them for a game or two. But to put him in every single game and then give the likes of Scarpa, what did he get yesterday? 30 minutes of football so far this preseason. And then bringing bloody Wood on worries the crap out of me. And then Hwang, is Hwang really going to make the matchday squad? He seems to be. It seems to be the Lyle Taylor of last year's preseason, who pretty much played every game last year in the summer and then didn't even make the squad. And that's the point here, is what is the point in all this game time players are getting that aren't going to come anywhere near the squad? And then you got the likes of Ryan Yates being played out of position, being played out wide right in this higher attacking role, which he's never going to do come actual match times. So why not play him in his correct position? And then if you haven't got a Brennan Johnson fit, or you're so anti-Scarpa that you don't want to play him out on the right, then put a kid in there. And then, I could understand that better. And it's not hypocritical. What I'm saying here is you're just filling that position to allow Yates to play in his correct position. And then once Jono is back, or once you made your peace with Scarpa or whatever, you'll put them in their correct position. So those are the frustrating points for me. Well, not frustrating, but worrying points. That Forest can't put passes together. That Forest is still playing the same style of football they did last season. That Cooper is hell-bent on this 3 at the back, or realistically 5 at the back. The fact that McKenna couldn't make the matchday squad, lastminute.com, and that he brought Freuler in and still then dragged Quixote into defense to hold a back 3 line really does worry me. Because I'm not saying the be all and end all is a 4-back formation, but I am saying that Cooper just seems asphyxiated by going to this back 5 formation, and we're not seeing much change from it. In terms of the positives, and there are a few positives that I want to bring up. I thought Scarpa was brilliant when he came on. He had an eye for a forward pass. He put Elanga in. Elanga's first touch was poor on that. He probably, had he controlled it, would have comfortably scored that. But Scarpa, for me, looks like a bit more match game time, bit more sharpness, bit more fitness, and he's going to be a player. I'm still not confident he's going to get used, though. Elanga is lightning fast. Lightning fast. The way there was a little incident where he keeps the ball in, which was rolling out for a goal kick for Leeds. And he made about, 30 yards up in literally half a second, man. Usain Bolt would have been proud of that pace. But again, with him, as I've said before, my worry is always his final production in the box. Can he get those finishes in? He needs to sharpen up and develop on that. But we already know that, so it's to be expected. I thought Aguilera looks solid on the ball. Looks like he has a point to prove. I would actually probably consider keeping him just as a backup to not even play him during the season. I don't know on this one. What do you guys think? Is it more beneficial for him to remain part of the squad, to kind of integrate better within Nottingham Forest and probably not get match time? Or would he be better served out going on loan? I don't know. I'd probably keep him. He could be an X factor in the odd game. Maybe use him in the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup, etc. That's probably what I would do with him. Powell, I thought was good, but again, what's the point? He's probably going to go out on loan. But overall, the games, it's not just we can't pass. I'll be honest with you, they are boring as hell. I've been watching the summer series in America with the likes of, you got Man U, Arsenal, Newcastle, Chelsea, Brentford, Villa, etc. All out there and all playing competitive matches and all actually using, I would say, at least 75% of their allotted, first starting team that they're looking to bring in come the Premier League. As each game has progressed, you've seen sharpness and better football coming from all of these teams. And they will be hitting the Premier League, coming towards somewhat of full fitness, full pelt, full understanding of each other. And honestly, if I compare them to Forest, I would say Forest are probably a month behind, minimum, in terms of gelling, in terms of sharpness, in terms of everything else. Now, on top of that, these teams have been playing each other. You've been having Premier League clashes, okay, in a friendly sense, but it's going to be similar styles to what we expect to see in the Premier League. So overall, That worries me as well, that you got this bunch of teams that are going there, playing in front of crowds of 60,000 odd, while we play in front of a goddamn white van and bushes as we did it against Levante, or we're playing in the bloody Pirelli Stadium yesterday. You know, Forest should have been, maybe we can get it next season, out in America on these tours, because they generate huge income as well, which is all good for the club. So look, it's not a rant, it's more a discussion. I get it's pre-season, but don't give me the BS about get minutes in the legs. We are 2 weeks away from Arsenal, and that in itself is a scary thought. And Forest really need to start showing something in these games. We got PSV next. PSV are a better team than Forest. Like it or lump it, they are. And of course, Sangare plays for them. I hope he's not there on Sunday. If Forest are going to play this low block, boring football where person A can't pass to person B, I hope he's on a beach somewhere in the Bahamas with no internet, no access to anything. Because if he's there on Sunday and we perform like we've done so far, or should I say play like we've done so far, can you guys really see him being interested in joining us? Get your thoughts in down below. Do you agree with what I'm saying? Do you disagree? Maybe with some of it, maybe with part of it. Let me know. It's not a moan. It's not a rant. It's just observations on what we saw yesterday. So Freuler, who was ghost-like again yesterday, I'm not going to talk about his performance. I'm going to talk about his links. And it's Juventus that are interested in him. But Juventus don't want to buy him. They want to do a loan with an obligation to buy come the next year, or an option to buy. I actually can't remember which one it is. But either way, is it time for him to move on? And I think the answer is yes. I think he is better suited to Serie A and that pace of game than he is to the Premier League. I'll be honest with you. If there's one player that I've gotten wrong from all the players that we've transferred in on whether or not I thought they would be good or not, it is Freuler. I expected big things from him. However, in his defense, I did not expect him to be played as a CDM or a deep-lying midfielder, whatever you want to call it. I expected him to be playing more so as a number 8, and we haven't seen that once at all. Look at his performances for Switzerland. So, with that aside, I think if Juventus want him, and even if it is a loan with an obligation to buy, or even just a loan move, it gets his wages off the books. And I think this is a deal that Forest should seriously consider. I still like him though. There's something about him I still like. I like his mentality. I like his composure on the ball, but he's just playing backwards football. That's the issue with me. When he gets the ball, his default pass is usually back to like a Worrell, a McKenna or whatever, and then it goes back to the goalkeeper. He does start the engine ticking, but man, we ain't ticking a Ferrari engine over here, man. It's more like a little mini engine or a micro or something like that. So do I expect him to go? Yes, I do over the summer. There's also been talks that Shelvey is on his way out. We've seen him playing at Stevenage. I'm sure he enjoyed that on his, 65k a week playing at Stevenage. Quite easy for some, isn't it? But I still do expect Shelvey to fully be kicked out of Nottingham Forest at some point over the next couple of weeks. And there is still talks of the Saudis coming in for the like of Serge Aurier, but there's nothing really developing. And at the moment, it's a bit of a limbo day, to be honest. Not too much happening. Maybe, at the time of recording this video, straight after something's going to emerge and we can all get excited about it. But it's just a reality check for me today. Yes, I famously on Sky said the other day that Forest could push for 7th or 8th. Yeah, I got that one in the neck, didn't I? Do I still believe that's the case at the moment? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see what the next few games bring. All right, guys. Sorry, I know it's a bit of a boring video, but I got to get off to Nottingham. So if you're around the club shop in Nottingham, I'll be there getting the new shirt. Probably, I don't know, like 3:30 or something. So let me know if you're around and come say hi. And then, yeah, we'll see you on the next video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to Forest Fan TV, and come on, you Reds.